Alright guys, so I don't think this is going to be much of a revelation here, but I have a lot of guitars. I mean, the channel is called Guitar Max after all. So I did a full count recently, and it turns out I now have 60 guitars. I'm not proud, I understand I have a problem. But here's the thing, obviously I can't play all 60 guitars all the time. And as you would imagine, it turns out that there are a handful of guitars that I reach for over and over again. Those guitars are the ones that I want to highlight today. Now I've narrowed it down to 6 guitars that I use over and over again. So here's my top 6 out of 60. Now, I want to be clear on the concept of this video. These are not necessarily my favorite guitars that I own, because there are some guitars that I have that have sentimental value to me, or just guitars that I think are really cool, like my MAB Rocket guitar, and I love that guitar, but it's just not one that I play very often. So the ones that I'm highlighting in this video are just the ones that get the most use out of all the guitars that I own. Alright, so here's the first guitar. This is my Schecter E1 Special. Now, I've had this guitar for quite a while, and this thing is just a beast. I have it tuned down to D standard, or whole step down, and when I'm working on recording a solo tune, this is the guitar that I reach for. This guitar not only plays great, but it has a really raw, aggressive tone, especially from the bridge pickup position that I just love. And it just fits that D standard, that whole step down tuning so well. It has clarity and still a lot of power at the same time. Now this one is equipped with the Sustainiac electronics, which I love, but to be totally honest, I don't use it all that much. But just the overall playability and the tone of the guitar makes this one that I reach for, especially when I'm doing recording. Also, I've never had any problems with the construction or the electronics or anything like that on this guitar. It has been 100% reliable since I first got it. And of course, purple burst finish, I mean, you can't really go wrong with that. Alright guys, now let's go ahead and check out the next guitar, but real quick guys, if you enjoy videos like this and checking out cool guitars and you have not already subscribed, please consider subscribing right now. Next, we have the Harley Benton Fusion 2. Now, I reviewed this guitar a while back with my buddy Deacon Lacrosse, and these guitars are really just an amazing bang for the buck guitar. These cost about $430, $440, right in that price range. It's got some really amazing specs. And the reason I like playing this one so much is because of the neck and the frets. It's a very shreddable guitar, and I love playing this one when I'm practicing my my fast picking techniques and so forth. With the roasted maple neck and the stainless steel frets, and it's got a nice satin finish on the neck, it's just a really fun guitar to play. And this guitar is totally stock. It's got the original Roswell pickups and the Floyd Rose 1000 series bridge, which is incredible for a guitar in this price range. This guitar is just so much fun to play that it's a very inspiring guitar to play. When you pick this up and you play it, you just want to keep playing more and more. And they've got these guitars in several different finishes. They've got some cool burst finishes and so forth that look really cool. And to be honest, I don't really need another one of these, but I've been so happy with this guitar. And I like the other finishes. I might end up getting another one in the future. So that Harley Benton was like a little over $400, $450, right in that price range. Really good deal. Well, This next guitar is almost 10 times that amount, and that is my Poletti stratospheric. I kind of have the mentality that even if you have like a really nice expensive guitar or like a really cool classic car or something like that, you shouldn't just let it sit. You know, cars should be driven and guitars should be played. And I love playing this guitar. It's got a really comfortable neck, really just beautiful fretwork on it, and the pickups sound great. Now this guitar is pretty heavy. It's made out of this 150-year-old chestnut wood, which was reclaimed from old wine barrels. There's this really wild manufacturing process that Poletti does over in Italy. And you can see on the top here, I mean, it's got brass everywhere. This is a leather top on the guitar. It's really unique, and I feel really fortunate to have this guitar. It's probably not a guitar that I'm going to play at any local bar gigs because it is so expensive, but when I'm chilling at home, this one gets a lot of use. All right, now the next guitar is one that you guys have probably seen a lot of on my channel. This is my Red Burst Wolf WLP from All-in-One Guitars. And this is another guitar that, despite only being about 450 bucks, this is a guitar that I play all the time, and I use it a lot when I'm recording things. Now, it doesn't hurt that this guitar is so beautiful to look at. You have this sitting in the corner and it looks at you and it's just like, play me, play me. So it's another very inspiring guitar. I like this one so much that I even have it in the intro sequence for most of my videos. Alright, now you guys know that I totally love 80s guitars, and so of course in my top 6, you know there's going to be at least one just blatantly 80s guitar. So this one here, of course, is my Fender HM Strat. Now guys, this one, of course, it's like a cool looking classic 80s guitar, but this guitar, you know, the reason I play it so much is all about the neck. It's got huge frets on the neck, and the neck is just so comfortable. And this is probably the most comfortable, easiest playing neck of any guitar that I own. Now I have made one change to this guitar, and that is that I swapped in a dual rail humbucker in place of the original neck single coil, just to give that neck position a little bit more punch and thickness. Also, this is a surprisingly versatile guitar with the coil splitting switch that you have down here. That switch combined with a 5-way pickup selector gives you a ton of different tones. Awesome neck, black and yellow, made in Japan, what's not to love? Alright guys, now we are down to the 6th guitar, and this one's a little bit different than all the others, but it's another one that I just reach for and I play over and over again. This is my Haloclarisse with the scalloped fretboard. This is basically a high-end super strat with an amazing neck and this beautiful scalloped fretboard. Now I liked scalloped fretboards before I got this guitar, but having this guitar for a while and being able to play it whenever I want to has really just cemented my love for scalloped fretboards. Lately, I've even been considering having a really nice custom guitar made for me, and it's going to have a scalloped fretboard, and I owe that in a huge part to this guitar. Now, it's not just the neck that I love, but it's got a really nice Schaller bridge on here, and I've got my dual rail pickups in the bridge and the neck position, and just the original single coil in the middle position. Now, this is not a cheap guitar. I think they go for around $1,600, $1,700, $1,800, right in that range. But it's definitely a very unique guitar. And one thing in particular to consider if you're looking for a guitar that has a scalloped fretboard, there are not a lot of options of just regular production guitars that have scalloped fretboards. And if you go out and you buy like a classic Yngwie Strat or something like that, which again is one of the few regular production guitars with a scalloped fretboard, it's going to be right in that same price range. And with this guitar, you get the scalloped fretboard, plus a cool pickup arrangement, and the double locking tremolo. Alright guys, so again, I have a lot of other guitars that I really love and that I really enjoy playing, but those 6 are the ones that get the most use out of all the guitars that I own. And one thing that I think is very cool and very telling about the state of modern guitar manufacturing is that some of those guitars are very expensive, and others are really affordable, like the Wolf and the Harley Benton. Those guitars cost just a few $100, but I end up playing them just as much as guitars that cost 10 times that much. Alright guys, but let me know what you thought of all those guitars in the comments section below. Also, realistically, I have too many guitars, so I'm probably going to think of some sort of a contest that I can do or something like that where I can give some of those guitars away. Now guys, down in the video description below, I will put links for the guitars that I was highlighting. I will also have a link down there for some of the backing tracks that I was using. Those are from the YouTube channel Backing Tracks by Tim. And I will also have links down there for my social media and my instructional material. Alright guys, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you soon.